Yo, what's this scene? It's been a while, everybody. It's been a while. And this video today going to be just a little bit different in terms of actually writing a set of things here. So I'll be reading it a bit. I'll be reading up. It's shaking, but sister, I'll be reading a bit more. But I still hope we see how this one goes. Testing out things, new tactics, they make sense. See how it goes. So, let's get the title. Your friend circle is a reflection of you. So let me start. I'm gonna dig into it. Alright, I'm a whole bit. So you probably see the title and you're thinking, nah, I don't believe so. Or this man capping, this man talking shit, because my friends who could really think about me, man could be different ways, and that really don't have to resonate with me. I could be much different. But kinda deeper than that, in a sense, it kinda deeper than that. Because when you really sit back and think about it, what really makes you be cool with somebody you're always in the presence, always talking to them? Yeah, they have similar interests, probably similar things in common, or you could resonate with them, because why else you'll be so familiar with them, if that's the right word. So what did I put down? Right, I wanted to say, I start off by saying it's quite possible to have friends on different journeys than you, different beliefs, different things, right? Different goals and those sort of things. And what I'm really trying to get at is probably how often you'd be interacting with them and how involved in activities together with them. Like, of course, you got friends you talk to now and then and stuff, but your friends group, your friends circle is really those you're close, a bit close knit, and you really keep in contact much more often. You have certain things to talk about and whatnot. Would you believe my eyes still jumping, dog? Twitching. I don't know if you could have seen it, but anyways, yeah. And right, so in order to be spending a lot of time in the company of certain people, probably means you have a lot in common traits. And honestly, it could be a tough topic for some kind of touchy situation if you really think about this. It depends, especially if you feel like some of your friends grow in distance, and you might perceive that as them thinking it better than you, or really have time for you to kind of outgrow you and thing. So it might be a kind of a touchy situation, but some things are meant to be talked about. You have to talk about these things and figure it out. So, what did I say? In my humble opinion, I was in Starbucks and I just tried to all this. Starbucks is a vibe. Just. I think there are a few things, like a few cycles, for lack of a better word, like friendship groups or cycle, circle, certain dynamics, I should say, in friend groups, or certain. You will see when I go deeper into it, right? And you can experience with your friends and whatnot. And I really break it down to three of the dynamics, I should call it. One is the stagnation, that's just a broad word. Next one is like a growth and positive reinforcement friend group. And the last one I say was just negative. And you can see why in a while. So the first one is somebody stagnation. So this is basically where you all don't have much growth, but at the same time you aren't really regressing. Right? So you just have really a basic thing, you're not really pushing each other forward that much, but you're not really negative in a sense, you're really leading each other down the wrong path. It's more just I do that thing in biology, I think it was mutualism. It's probably kind of mutualism, or not parasitic, whatever you call it. The symbiosis things. I don't know if you know, but if you know, you know. Then see me be in touch with these friends really often. You might hang out with them. You might be engaged in activities together a lot of the time. So activities might be like gaming, talking about shows, music, controversy, memes, and things like TikTok videos and all these things. Just keeping in touch all the time. You send a video here, there, you're lying, you talk about that nonsense and things. Cool vibes. Keep in mind, when I talk about this in all of the categories, you're not really much different from anybody in these groups or dynamics, because you are in them. And you in them for a reason. So don't think you better off or you below. You in them for a reason, basically the same as them. No coincidence that you ended up there. It's you one of them, you're not different. It is your group for a reason, no kind of coincidence. Also with this dynamic, you may also be having a very slow yet consistent growth or decline. So this one you pull from the positive friend group and the negative, you'll have different traits from each. So you could still be going upwards, and not just stagnation. You could actually be going up kind of slowly or going down kind of slow, depends on which side of the seesaw you lean to more. So right? Because there are no major changes in a positive or negative direction, it might be slow and continuous, slow and continuous. You might only see it after 3 years or so. You might look back and be like, ways, I'll be going upwards, you're going upwards, boys, or you could look back and be like, ways, or nah, it's not going anywhere, it's going kind of down, it's not really, not feeling that vibe. And the catch with this is, as you get older, life will become a little harder and more complicated if you're just doing the same things. And so you remain stagnant and doing those things wouldn't be good enough, and you realize that eventually. And yeah, it wouldn't be good enough to truly live in a good and prosperous life in a sense. For some people, very different, but I just talking about me. So eventually, one by one, most people in your group will realize things had to change, and it might be more preoccupied with work and a family. As you get older, people might have families, children, blah blah blah, all those things. The significant other, and time might be more scarce. Yeah, so the contact may dwindle, and there'll always be times you can say, where we dropping, boys? One more game to go. Good vibes. But yeah, that's more summarizing the stagnation dynamic friend group circle. And that's basically you're not really too positive or really too negative, so it just really sticking at that level. But if you basically do the same things you were doing 5 years ago when you were like 18 and thing, then it's really not good enough because you really had to just keep evolving, and really life is not just go and be, you're not meant to be the same person you was in the past. Like a bad day. And the second group is actually I'll talk about the positive one first. And I call this the growth or positive reinforcement, like friend circle dynamic group. This dynamic is the one I view as the best. You all aren't just friends because you went to school together or had some experiences in the past, right? So you're not just friends by association, you was involved in some common things in the past. Like in the current moment, you're still doing the vibes, you're still doing new things together, getting better. Here you all are actively attempted and are on an upward trajectory together. There's a growth mindset that has been fostered. Right, in this one, in next one, I'll talk a lot about mindset because it's really the mindset you have in common with them. Even though you may not be in touch as often as the stagnant friend circle, the conversations and experiences together will tend to be much more fruitful. When someone here is trying to cope or get themselves excuses, they can be called out by the group. So you find somebody kind of cope with something or bring up excuses, they will be called out and they'll take it. Because when they're getting called out is not to bash somebody or bad talk them. They genuinely just saying, "Dog, you're on shit right now. You know what you want to do in your mind. You know what you're really doing. And stop coping. Be real. Be serious." And instead of getting defensive about it, they're actually grateful that others hold them accountable with their best interests at heart. You don't have to be into the same things, especially work-wise. You don't have to be into the same things, but it's all about the mindset. They have the same kind of mindset in a sense. Because mindset is a broad category in terms of once you have a positive, good mindset, it could fall into all categories of life. Just keep going up. No matter the field or area, a positive, good mindset can always be applied. Of course, you talk shit sometimes and have kicks and have great banter, but that'll be like the side mission, the side quests. You have it now and then side quests. That's not the main thing that you could be friendship based off of. The YouTube videos and things shared in these groups are more geared towards development and growth in specific areas. You can come at the end of the week and have a review with your people, trying to give tips and tricks for life. So after a week, if it went good or bad, you come back and you talk about it, where it went wrong. If you find something that works for you, how you would tell the people, your friends about it, where they can implement it, be better, because you just want everybody to be better. And when you give these tips and tricks, you don't really expect people to just watch it and then go by. They take it, appreciate it, and try to put it into their life. It was helping, and not just talks. You can't force yourself into a group, by the way. Yeah, it just comes naturally. You can't just force yourself into a group, try to push yourself in. You really had to resonate with that group. As I say before, you're not there by coincidence. You have to be, just have to relate to those people. You have to push yourself in. You have to take time and go for yourself. So, saying that, maybe you'd have to disappear and work on yourself for a few months before this forms. You have to think about it. What you have in common with these circles for them to accept you easily if you're not on the same kind of vibration as them, right? Why would they be a friend if you're not really feeling them, like not feeling you if you're different? If you had the same traits as somebody who's being stagnant or declining, why would you first in that group? So this group will discuss small plans, visions, and goals, not just for the adrenaline rush, but it actually tackling those plans, visions, and goals. No serious thing. Yep. Yeah, in this group, we do be sharing nudes and things just so yeah, the respect when it comes people do just sharing nudes random just so and not really bad talking people in this group for different views other people might have on social media. You're not bad talking nobody, minding our business and keep going forward. And then lastly, my time running out at 3 minutes. Like lastly, that your negative friend group. And I just read this one straight because time going. So before I get into this one, I want you to keep in mind the stagnant friend circle would have a few different traits from the positive and the negative. So you might hear some things discussed and it may make you think, I can relate to this, but I don't think I fall into this negative friend group or friend circle, so I don't, this, you're talking nonsense. Nothing like that. Um, right, so in this one, you might game a lot with friends and participate in loser stuff and degenerate things like doing drugs all the time, alcohol, porn, just random sex, especially with low quality. Yeah, don't take it no kind of way. Don't take it no kind of way. Just talking the truth. Having no kind of standard set for yourself. Now you just whatever. And the vibe here will just be a toxic many times, a lack of responsibility and accountability from everyone basically. No one really stepping up and taking accountability for things in life. Every day might be bad talking somebody or something you see on the social media. You don't really have uplifting conversations. That is a rarity if that ever happens. Never really anything positive. And when it's positive, it might just be coping things or cap. You never really engage in that. Yeah, the friendship is there because you have similar vices in common, like drugs and thing, or just games and thing. It wouldn't really lead a life in a positive direction. The people that here may not believe it's possible to have a better life or put in that work. They're just gonna settle and. They think other people are lucky and don't deserve their successes, or it's have an excuse why somebody else do better and don't really believe they could do it or even you could do it because they know you. And if they see you trying to be better, they might bring you back down because they want to keep you down there. If you made it this far in the video, I really want you to think about it a bit. Think about which friend circle you in, which one you want to be in, right? Right. And now you had that realization that whichever one you in, it's primarily your fault. It's who you are. Because as I said many times, you don't fall into the groups by coincidence. That is who you are. You resonate with these people. So think about it. Analyze it. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be with? Who do you want to associate with to keep leading you in direction you want to go? What kind of people you want to keep in touch with and groups and the dynamics you want to have with people. You really want to stay in negative groups, toxic relationships with people, or you really want people who push you to be better, uplifting, good vibes, good experiences. And when you think about the kind of groups you want to be in, what kind of person you have to be though for those people to want to be friends with you? Because you don't want to be friends with somebody who negative and not on that vibe. So like, what you have to do to be the person that the people you want to be around would want to be around you. There's a whole cycle on a level, or even better, maybe the friend groups you have now, everyone together could go up and uplift and become positive, and you could be the change, the influence, the impact to change those negative groups and the stagnation to a growth and a positive mindset. Maybe you could be the change, you could be the difference. Maybe it start with you. So yeah, later, Damon G.